How do you flirt with a guy over text? If you like a guy and you only have the opportunity to contact him through text messages, then so be it. Of course, always strive for meeting up with him in person. That's much more important than the messages you exchange. When that happens, don't forget to first check out this article with great things to talk about on a date. 1. Never text longer than necessary. Don't spend months exchanging messages with someone without seeing him in real life. What you really want to do is give him opportunities to ask you out from the start. You do this by giving him hints. What you can text to a guy is, for example, "I've always wanted to go to that museum. I heard that bar was really cool." Just give him enough small opportunities to say, "How about we go there together?" If he doesn't understand these hints, don't panic. If it takes too long, you can always say something like, "I actually think it's a little impersonal to get to know each other over text. How about we just meet up?" It wouldn't hurt to come up with such a suggestion yourself. At least try to avoid exchanging messages with each other for months on end. 2. Make an inside joke. This is one of the best flirting tips you can apply when texting a guy. A joke like that ensures that your text messages feel much more real. Imagine, for example, that you went on a date to the petting zoo and while you were there he came up with a joke about the goats. "Look at those goats. They have them in all shapes and sizes." Of course, you being a smart woman, you don't have such a sheep sense of humor. But let's just assume you do find it funny and haven't abandoned sheep when you heard that witty wordplay. So, suppose you've been through a situation like that. A moment where you both laughed a lot. Then it's an excellent idea to refer to that in your text messages. You can make fun of him for being the black sheep of the family, or a wolf in sheep's clothing. 3. Be a bit challenging. Men live for the hunt. We're literally looking for the challenge of hunting. When there's no effort involved, it is not interesting to get it. And let it be honest. You probably are also not as interested in men that are too available and have no standards. You probably prefer a man that is somewhat of a challenge to get. The same goes for men. If something is too easy, it's just not that interesting. 4. Show an interest in him. It's much easier to get a guy interested in you if you first take an interest in him than it is if you first try to convince him how great you are. The royal road to a man's heart is to talk to him about the things he treasures most. So ask questions about him, and combine this with statements. 5. Avoid the excessive use of smileys. I recently met a woman I liked a lot. And because I didn't want to leave it at that, I decided to befriend her on Facebook. And we started talking on Messenger. Then something happened that really turned me off. Her messages were full of strange abbreviations and smileys. And I'm not the only one who's turned off by this. There are a lot of men who think these things are too childish. It would be a shame for you to miss out on a great guy because of something like this that you can easily prevent. It's fun when you've discovered the button on how to send him the craziest smileys. But please don't use it. More men are turned off by this than there are men who think, "Oh, wow. She uses a lot of smileys, she's cute." So leave it at that. 6. Avoid boring topics and subjects that are emotionally heavy. Chatting is supposed to be fun. You want to avoid topics that are too serious, and avoid heavy emotional conversations at all times. Some topics to avoid at all costs are politics, religion, your ex-boyfriend. When you get to know a guy, it's not a good idea to talk to him about these kinds of things anyway. 7. Never have I ever. Now, before you think, "Hey, this looks suspiciously like a drinking game one used to play." It's precisely the same game but through text, and without alcohol. It's a great game to play when you're texting with a guy. And one of the great flirty texts you can send for him is, "I've never swum naked before." If he replies that he has, you can ask him another question. Ellipsis. But if he replies that he's never done that before, it's his turn. This way of texting is more exciting, and you'll learn the craziest stories about each other too. So if you want to flirt with him through WhatsApp, or whatever platform you are using, then this is an excellent way.